Ready to dive into some serious innovation talk? We're ditching the buzzwords today and getting into how companies actually make innovation happen.
Yeah, it's time to go beyond the hype.
We're doing a deep dive with Tamer El-Tonsy's LinkedIn article, The Long and Winding Road to Innovation. Don't let the platform fool you. This piece is packed with insights.
Really is. It cuts through all the noise and dives right into the nitty-gritty. You know how everyone throws innovation around like it's the magic solution?
Oh, absolutely.
This article digs into the strategic side, the how-to for making innovation work within a company.
And he starts with this idea of parallel processing for innovation.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I kind of pictured like robots on an assembly line when I first read that. What does it actually mean?
Imagine it more like strategic juggling. Companies often have multiple projects going at the same time, hoping one of them becomes a big win.
So spread the risk, explore different options, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And the article makes this really clear, this flexibility can backfire.
How so?
Well, think about that feeling when you have way too many projects, all labeled urgent.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like my brain's a browser with 20 tabs open and nothing's loading right.
That's a great way to put it. And it's the same for companies. The article even calls it innovation fatigue. Too much pressure to innovate and things fall apart. Burnout, bad decisions, wasted resources.
Like you can't just keep adding more balls to the juggling act without dropping everything, right?
Right. And the article goes beyond just the warning. It actually dives into how companies are navigating this whole innovation maze.
Okay, so what's the first strategy?
The first one is internal incubation. Sounds cozy, right?
It does, but something tells me it's not that simple.
You're right. It's all about nurturing new ideas from within. You know, like Google's 20% time, where employees get dedicated time for their own projects.
Oh yeah, that's a classic example.
Right? But even with the best intentions, things get tricky. The article talks about these internal roadblocks that can stifle even the most promising ideas.
Yeah, the article mentions bureaucratic obstacles and resistance to change. That feels pretty universal, even outside the corporate world.
Totally. It's that classic tension between wanting to innovate and dealing with the reality of a big organization. Even with resources and leadership on board, things get stuck.
So it's not enough to just have a fancy greenhouse. You need the right soil for those innovative seeds to sprout. It's like they say, if you want something done right, gotta do it yourself right.
Right.
But for companies, maybe that means buy a company that's already doing it, which takes us to strategic acquisitions.
Ah, yes. The classic move.
Spot a company with a killer product, a breakthrough.
Acquire them.
Seems like the fast track to innovation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Skip the R&D, skip the glowing pains.
Yeah.
Just plug and play that innovation right in.
Right.
But I'm guessing not so simple.
You got it. This is where things get tricky. The article, it actually describes the whole post-acquisition journey as, get this, littered with booby traps.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. El-Tonsy says companies, they underestimate how hard it is to merge two totally different companies, different cultures, systems, the way they work.
It's like this project I was on. They tried to merge two departments, totally different styles, like fitting a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
Frustration everywhere.
Exactly. And it happens all the time with these acquisitions. You can't just throw two companies together and poof, they're one big happy company.
Especially when it's a big company swallowing up a smaller one.
Right. And you know what that means. All those cultural clashes we were talking about before.
Oh, yeah.
They come back with a vengeance. Startups all about flexibility,
Yeah.
quick decisions, taking risks.
Big company.
Total opposite. Hierarchies, risk aversion, and, well, let's just say agile isn't the first word that comes to mind.
So you've got this mismatch. Like what happens? Big company culture just crushes the startup spirit.
It's a huge risk. El-Tonsy talks about the danger of bureaucracy, basically smothering the startup's agility, their ingenuity. You know, like imagine buying a prized racehorse
Okay, yeah.
and then locking it in a stable.
Oh.
You can't expect it to win races anymore, can you?
No, not exactly peak performance.
Right. So these acquisitions, they're more like a gamble than a sure thing.
High risk, high reward.
Could be. The article makes it clear that to really make it work, you need a really delicate touch. You got to understand the cultures, how they clash, and be willing to adapt, learn from each other. It's about making the strengths of both work, creating this new blended culture where innovation can actually grow.
So it's not just about signing the check. It's about making sure that innovation you just bought can actually thrive.
Exactly. Okay, we've covered internal, going external with CVC, and the acquisition fast track.
What's left? What's the last strategy?
Well, everything we've talked about so far, it's all pretty top-down. Leadership decides. The strategy comes from the top.
Right.
But what if you could get innovation bubbling up from every corner of the company?
Oh, interesting.
That's decentralized innovation.
Oh, it's risky though, right? The article, it warns about letting innovation just run wild, no direction.
So it's like everyone's off doing their own thing, not necessarily working together.
Yeah, like everyone's in their own kitchen cooking up amazing dishes.
But no one's playing the menus.
Exactly. It's all over the place. El-Tonsy actually uses this word, fragmentation. All these different efforts, they end up competing instead of working together.
So, too many cooks in the kitchen can lead to, what, innovation stoop? Tastes weird. Yeah, something like that. The company might have tons of brilliant people, but if those ideas don't fit together, chaos.
Not exactly a recipe for success.
Right. He uses this great analogy in the article about a symphony orchestra.
Okay. I like analogies. Lay it on me.
So imagine every musician playing beautifully, right? But there's no conductor.
Oh, so it's just noise, not actual music.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. And it must be hard to find that balance, right? You want people to be creative, have freedom.
Right.
But someone's got to make sure everyone's on the same page.
You got it. Decentralized doesn't mean a free-for-all. The article, it stresses how important central oversight is, even with this distributed approach.
So set clear goals, make sure the teams are talking to each other.
Exactly. It's making sure those individual ideas, they actually support the company's big goals.
Like a jazz band, maybe, instead of a symphony.
Oh, I like that.
You need that improvisation, that individual style.
Right.
But it's still music, you know? It's all got to work together.
That's a great way to put it. Finding that sweet spot.
Autonomy and alignment.
There you go.
Wow, this deep dive has been amazing. We've gone from juggling projects to buying resources, all in one episode.
It's been quite a ride.
What's your biggest takeaway from all of this?
I think the big thing is there's no one right answer. No magic formula for innovation.
Right. Every company's different.
Exactly. Each approach, whether it's internal, CVC, acquisitions, or this decentralized idea, they all have pros and cons. The trick is you got to understand those nuances. Figure out which one or which combination works for your company, your goals.
Pick the right tool for the job.
Yes. And even more than that, you got to know how to use that tool.
It's not enough to just buy the fancy equipment. You got to learn how to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the article, it really emphasizes this too. How you execute the strategy matters.
It's not enough to just talk about innovation.
Right. You need the culture, empower your people, and be ready to adapt. Always be learning.
It's the companies that get that, the ones that really walk the walk. Those are the ones that truly innovate.
Couldn't said it better myself.
So for our listeners, all you innovators out there, what's the one question you should ask yourselves?
Ooh, good question. I think it's this. How do we make innovation more than just a buzzword?
Yes.
How do we make it part of our DNA?
Love that. It's about building that mindset, that drive to create, to experiment. It's got to be in everything you do. El-Tonsy's article, it gives us a lot to think about on that front. Thanks for diving into all of this with me.
Anytime. Always fun to unpack these big ideas.
And for our listeners, if you're ready to go even deeper, we'll have a link to El-Tonsy's full article in the show notes. Until next time, keep those innovative ideas flowing.